Mango Math presents Great Expressions, a pre-algebra game. Great Expressions is a pre-algebra game that follows the standard of the students write, read, and evaluate expressions in which letters stand for numbers. Great Expressions has some math terms to help with understanding, and those are coefficient, a number which multiplies a variable. For example, 2b is 2 is the coefficient. Variable, varying quantities represented by a letter. Algebraic expression contains at least one variable and may contain other numbers and or operations, does not contain an equal or inequality, can be one side of an equation. An equation is a mathematical statement where the left side equals the right side, and squared a result from multiplying a number by itself. The supplies that are found in the pouch along with your information sheet and guide will be Great Expression game boards, and there'll be 4 of them, each in a different color. There'll be a deck of playing cards, a 20-sided dice, a dry erase marker, and an eraser. So to start this game, each student will have their Great Expression board, and each will draw a card, and they will get the card and read it. And this one, it says twice a number divided by that number. So they have to write what that expression is from the words that they see on this and write the expression out. So they could write n plus n, that's twice the number, or they could have written 2n, and then divided by that number. So it's n plus n divided by n, or 2n divided by n. Either one of those is correct. And on the information sheet, there is an answer key to these two if kids were struggling with it. But then they'll roll a dice. The number on the die will be the number that represents the n, or the unknown number. And they'll write that in, and then they'll come up with a solution. So they have an expression, and then they'll come up with an equation. And it's 12 plus 12 divided by 12, which equals 12. So it's actually just the number itself. So students will play the game in figuring out these expressions. This is a great way for students to understand when they're reading a math problem, what it is that they're trying to determine to do with and come up with an algebraic formula. So these are great beginning steps to doing that. So continue to draw cards and roll dice. And this one's 100 decreased by the product of 5 and a number. So it's 100 minus 5 times n, or 100 minus 5n. They will roll the dice again, come up with the number 17. They'll put that into the equation, and they come up with it equaling 15. So they're coming up with equations that they'll answer. And eventually they'll go through and do 5 cards and come up with all those different equations. They will total up what each equation equals and come up with a total amount. The student that has the highest total amount at the end will be the winner of that game. This game is just a means of really trying to get kids to work on deciphering those expressions when they come across them in word problems. Some guided questions to promote critical thinking. Were some problems easier to solve than others? Why or why not? What problems were more difficult to write? What is a coefficient? What is an algebraic expression? And what is a variable? And those are all words that they needed to learn how to, in their math terms, that they can help develop their understanding of mathematics better by understanding the math terms. So enjoy the activity. It's fun. It takes some time to figure out those problems, but it really does help.